Tigers are back on the practice field on Monday, and Brian Kelly was kind enough to allow the media to watch the entirety of the workout. I shall not bury the lead. Everyone, no doubt, was most concerned with or interested in Garrett Nussmeier. We learned last week that he's dealing with tendonitis in his knee, and all these weird rumors started everywhere. People melted, and ultimately, it was nothing. So we went out there, and they started practice at the indoor facility, and we got to watch about 20 minutes or so at the indoor before they went outside. You can go look on any of my social media. I posted a video of Garrett Nussmeier throwing. They were helmets and shoulder pads today. He has a sleeve on his left leg and was not in any way limited. Did everything at practice today. I don't know what else to say. Like, he did everything. Individual, team, indoor, outdoor, 11 on 11, red zone, all of it. So Garrett Nussmeier, full go, no limitations whatsoever. That's fantastic news. Really quickly, though, a couple of other, injury tidbits. Jakeem Jackson, when they were indoors, had a bunch of kinesio tape on the back of his leg, and then when the outdoors, he was just on the exercise bike the rest of the time. So I'm reading into the fact that he had kinesio tape all over the back of his leg, that it was a hamstring, but we'll see what may come of that. And then during a special teams period, Barian Brown was returning a punt. It was a short punt, dead sprint, caught it on the fly and sprinted up the sideline, which was phenomenal to watch him do that. But anyway, when he was coming back, he was just limping a little bit, went to the middle of the field, taped his foot over his cleat, and then finished practice. A little hobbled here and there, but not anything that made him miss any of the rest of practice. So those are just some of the tidbits. This was an interesting day because they did a lot of very specialized work. There was like a pooch punting period. There was a period where the offense only worked on screens. They were running against air, but it was the full offense, and they just were running screens. So running backs to tight ends, just screens. They ran an 11 on 11 period where it was a goal-to-go situation, 3rd and 8 for the offense, 2 plays to score. So it was very, very specific today, situational, that they were working on. I'll tell you, in all the notes I took, there were 3 really big offensive standouts on this day that would have been impossible for anyone to miss. TreyDez Green, Xavier Thomas, Barian Brown. We've mentioned Barian Brown a lot throughout fall camp because he's been pretty exceptional. Today was no different. When they were indoors, they did the wide receiver DB drill. We've told you about it before. It's a one-on-one drill. Quarterback in the middle of the field, receiver, defensive back to either side, and they're running a one-on-one route. Trey'Dez beat Harold Perkins twice. So they started at the 40, then they went to the 20, and then they went to the 5. And so everybody got 3 reps. Trey'Dez beat Harold Perkins on the first 2 reps. When they went to the 5, they put him on A.J. Halsey. Same thing. Scored all 3 times. Xavier Thomas was, he beat Mansour Delane 3 times. He was awesome in this drill. And then Barian Brown, he caught a one-handed touchdown grab over P.J. Woodland, who was yanking his jersey. He had another touchdown on P.J. Woodland in the red zone drill, and then from the 5-yard line, he didn't rep from the 5, but then he did, Barian Brown, when they went to 7-on-7. Brown scored a touchdown on the back line and would have had a second touchdown, but for PI, and it was, who grabbed him? It was P.J. Woodland. Anyway, so P.J. Woodland is pretty handsy, y'all. Like, he ain't scared. P.J. Woodland ain't scared to yank that jersey to where your shoulder pad's exposed. Woodland has had some nice plays in fall camp, but he was handsy today. They also, when they went 11 on 11, and I'll run through the play-by-play of the 11 on 11, but the first team offense punctuated their drive with a 28-yard touchdown pass from Nussmeier to Barian Brown. Brown go route down the right sideline, and he beat Ashton Stamps, and Nuss dropped it in a bucket. It was pretty spectacular. And I don't want to leave Xavier Thomas out because Xavier Thomas was pretty awesome as well. In the 7-on-7, he had 3 receptions, including a touchdown reception in the 7-on-7 where he ran a go route and beat Ashton Stamps. It was a day where those 3 guys were pretty special. TreyDez Green when they were indoors doing the wide receiver DB drills. From the 5, he ran a shallow cross. I'm sorry, this was from the 20. He ran a shallow cross, and Perkins was on him, and Nuss threw a fastball, and TreyDez, again, coming from left to right. So Nuss in the middle of the field, TreyDez on his left, coming across his face. Threw a fastball that, I mean, might have gone into the weight room if he had let it go. But TreyDez just full extension, and made the reception, which goes to show you, man, the catch radius, the ability, the awareness, the ball skills, it's all there. He was magnificent today. And then in the 7-on-7 period, he caught a seam route right up the middle from the 20. He caught a seam route, did TreyDez for a touchdown. He beat Harold Perkins on the seam route there as well. So those 3 guys are pretty awesome. A few other things from the day that may be of note. The kick returners, Aaron Anderson, Xavier Thomas, Berrien Brown, Jelani Watkins, Kyle Parker, and then the 2 running backs, Caden Durham, Caleb Jackson. Those were the ones that were working kick return. Punt return, most of the same guys minus the running backs. All the same guys minus the running backs. Xavier Thomas, Kyle Parker, Aaron Anderson, Chris Hilton worked on punt return as well, and Berrien Brown. Penalties were an issue mostly with the second unit when they went 11-on-11. Michael Van Buren had to delay a game. He also had a 25-yard run on a scramble, which was beautiful. It was after a penalty when the twos. This was it. This was the sequence when the twos were doing their scrimmage session. They went delay of game. Jelani Watkins false start. Bauer sharp for 5 yards. So 1st and 20 became 2nd and 15. On 2nd and 15, Van Buren scrambled for 25 yards, zigging and zagging through the defense, which that may be his best attribute right now. And then on 1st down after that, Bauer sharp had a false start. So penalties were a problem today. When they were in the goal line period, Carius Kern false started. He false started twice on Saturday as well in the scrimmage. They pulled him then after his false start today in the goal line situation. They pulled him, replaced him with Tyree Adams, who ran in there at left tackle. So penalties were a problem, but most of that was the second unit and the backups. When the first team went 11-on-11, they went right down the field and scored, as we mentioned, on the Berrien Brown touchdown. The other sort of big takeaway I would tell you from today's practice, and really from Saturday and Monday, practices 9 and 10, we spent so much of the first full week of camp talking about the struggles the offensive line has had blocking the defensive front. And in the scrimmage periods, the team periods on Saturday, the offensive line did not allow a pressure. And in all the plays I charted today, they also, again, did not allow a pressure. And, the feeling that I've shared with you in watching them go out there is when the offensive line wins one-on-ones, it tells you they're talented enough to hold up against these really good pass rushers. But when they've gone team, it's really been weighted toward the defense. Now, some of that is Blake Baker's creativity. A lot of that is just individual ability and the defense being ahead of the offense. What you wanted to see was the 5 offensive linemen begin to act as one and get more continuity. We saw that these last 2 practices where you just haven't seen the purple wave enveloping the white jerseys, which are the offense. So that was fantastic to see. Of all the plays I charted today during the 11-on-11s, the red zone, the goal line, and the scrimmage periods, there were no pressures, no sacks, and the only negative play that I charted was Bernard Gooden, shocker, had a TFL on Caleb Jackson. And that was in the when they were in the red zone period. It was they were at the 10-yard. The offense was at the 10-yard line, and it was Xavier Thomas had a beautiful catch down the sideline for 15 yards. The offense was at the 10-yard line, and Bernard Gooden had a TFL for a loss of a yard on Caleb Jackson. That was the only negative play that I charted for the offense all day. So a day that was very heavily weighted for the offense, which was great to see because, man, the defense has a lot of talent. They're rotating a bunch of guys, and Blake Baker has a lot of toys in the chest to play with, and it was nice to see the offense kind of have the upper hand on a day after the defense had really, really owned the team periods through the first full week of camp. Hey, thanks so much for watching. Please leave your comments. I love to interact, and be sure to hit the red subscribe button below.